travel is something you have to take very seriously, because Einstein's equations do allow for time travel.
Throughout history, people have been captivated by the idea of time travel, spurred on by iconic films like Back to the Future, Terminator, and the more recent Avengers, Endgame. While the popular notion of time travel involves journeying backward or forward in time, the reality behind the concept is a bit more complex. NASA suggests that time travel isn't entirely out of the realm of possibility, albeit not in the straightforward manner often portrayed in media. According to Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, time and motion are interconnected, and the speed of light, clocking in at 186,000 miles per second, serves as an ultimate speed limit. Time travel, as explained by Einstein's theory, hinges on a phenomenon called time dilation. Despite scientific explanations, stories like Mike Marcum's alleged successful time travel continue to fuel hope and intrigue. So, join us as we attempt to unravel this mystery of time travel. If there's one thing the internet loves, it's diving into true crime and mysterious tales. Anyone who enjoys stories that seem too wild to be real knows that the web is packed with podcasts, documentaries, and YouTube channels dedicated to unraveling these unbelievable narratives. One such tale, the saga of a guy known as the Madman, still baffles folks even 2 decades later. The whole thing kicked off back in 1995 when a young fella named Mike Marcum, alongside a bunch of other sci-fi buffs and actual scientists, decided to try their hand at building a time machine. Mike set up shop on his porch in Stanberry, Missouri, where he tinkered away at what he called Jacob's ladder. At just 21 and studying to be an electrician, Mike got the idea while messing around with electronics and wiring. He loved nothing more than fiddling with his gadgets on the porch. But his big break came when he got on Art Bell's radio show, Coast to Coast, in '96 and '97, chatting about his time travel experiments. Then, poof, he disappeared into thin air. Stranger still, a few months later, a caller dialed into Art's show with a wild story from the 1930s about a dead guy found on a California beach, twisted up in a weird metal tube with what looked like a cell phone. This bizarre twist sparked all sorts of questions, chief among them being, did we just witness the first ever time travel incident? Marcum's gadget was a clever setup using a modified CD laser aimed at reducing air resistance between 2 points. This tweak generated a steady arc. When he flipped the switch, something unexpected happened. A circular heat mark, like what you'd see on hot pavement, formed, a sort of vortex. Curious, Marcum decided to poke a sheet metal screw through it, eager to see what would occur. To his surprise, the screw vanished for a split second, only to reappear a short distance away moments later. Marcum theorized that his Jacob's ladder created an electric arc, cycling between 2 metal rods. He kept experimenting but fried the CD laser after a few tries. Undeterred, Marcum decided to rebuild, this time with larger transformers for a bigger scale. However, lacking funds, he swiped 6 hefty transformers from a power site in King City. Though considered smarter than his buddies, Marcum's goal was simple. He aimed to build a time machine to snag future lottery numbers. But such a feat required a ton of power, hence the theft. As he tinkered with his invention, Marcum inadvertently caused a blackout that stretched across several blocks in his neighborhood. The Gentry County Sheriff, armed with a warrant for the stolen transformers, swiftly nabbed him at his own doorstep. This all went down on January 29, 1995, landing Marcum behind bars for a few months before his release. It was during this time that he got the call to appear on Art Bell's radio show as a guest. On air, Mike recounted his screw experiment and his dream of crafting a time machine. He assured listeners he'd do it all above board this time around. After broadcasting his phone number, he was inundated with hundreds of calls from folks offering everything from ingenious suggestions to financial backing. With the support of his followers, Marcum managed to construct another, bigger time machine, packing more punch than the last one. But trouble seemed to follow him like a shadow. He got into hot water once more and got booted from his apartment, supposedly for zapping a cat a block away with his machine, a claim he vehemently denied. A year later, Art Bell extended another invite for Marcum to join his show, and he accepted. This time, he spun a tale about his new contraption resembling the one used in the Philadelphia experiment by the U.S. military. According to Marcum, this gizmo used a spinning magnetic field to hop through both time and space. He boasted that his machine was big enough for a person to stroll through and vowed to put it to the test within a few weeks. When Art Bell asked Mike what he planned to bring along in the machine, Mike replied, "Just my cell phone." According to an article in the online magazine Nexus, Mike scored big the second time he went on Coast to Coast, pocketing a hefty $20,000. Not just that, he also landed a warehouse in Kansas City and a cool $1 million worth of gear to keep his experiments rolling. On his final show appearance, Mike declared he was just 30 days shy of completing his legit time machine. As per reports, Mike hoisted the time machine several feet up in his Kansas City warehouse. As the circular vortex expanded, he started chucking guinea pigs into it. Mike claimed these objects would vanish into the vortex and then reappear in the warehouse parking lot, either east or west, every single time, but never on the north or south side. Then in 1998, Marcum took a bold step and decided to test the contraption on himself. He took the plunge into the vortex and found himself waking up in an Ohio farm field. He recalled feeling chilled, hungry, and far from civilization. After trekking to a homeless shelter in Cincinnati, he was shocked to learn it was the year 2000. He'd lost 2 years during his time travel adventure. Upon returning to his warehouse in Kansas City, Marcum was met with an empty space, no notes, no records, and no time machine. The tale quickly spread like wildfire, though it's hard to verify if the Kansas City trials actually happened. Since then, Mike has vanished without a trace. However, a few months after Mike mysteriously vanished off the face of the earth, a caller on Art Bell's radio show dropped a bombshell. The caller claimed to have insider info on Marcum's fate. According to this mystery person, back in the 1930s, cops stumbled upon a gruesome scene in California, a dead body crammed into a metal tube beyond recognition. Near the body lay something eerily resembling a cell phone. Many speculated it was Mike's remains. So, did he pull off the ultimate time jump, and if so, how'd he end up dead in the 30s? That's a mystery destined to remain unsolved. Mike's tale is captivating, but the allure of time travel isn't new. There's a slew of purported devices claiming to have cracked the time travel code. One of the most famous is the chronovisor. Legend has it that a Vatican project, spearheaded by Italian monk Pellegrino Ernetti, birthed this time travel contraption with the aid of esteemed scientists. While the chronovisor's existence remains unverified, a book penned by Vatican priest Father François Brunei insists it's the real deal. The project supposedly remained hush-hush until the early 60s when Ernetti spilled the beans. Reportedly, a dozen experts, including physicist Enrico Fermi and ex-Nazi scientist Werner von Braun, were in on it. The device allegedly harnessed cathode rays, antennas, and metals to capture light and sound signals across various wavelengths. The chronovisor was said to be like a peek into a time capsule, allowing folks to witness historical events and even glimpse into the future. Ernetti claimed to have seen Jesus Christ's crucifixion, Marcus Tullius Cicero's speech to the Roman Senate way back in 63 BC, the rise of the Roman Empire, and the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah. Supposedly, Ernetti and his crew had front-row seats to some of the biggest moments in biblical history. However, most scientists brushed off Ernetti's claims, deeming them far-fetched. But Ernetti stuck to his guns until the very end. Many conspiracy buffs are convinced that the Montauk Project, a supposed U.S. endeavor, actually pulled off time travel. Allegedly, it involved a string of top-secret government initiatives conducted at Camp Hero within the Montauk Air Force Station, dabbling in everything from mind control to, you guessed it, time manipulation. However, skeptics dismiss these claims as hogwash, arguing that the technology required for time travel remains firmly in the realm of science fiction. Mike Marcum, or Mad Mike as he's known, certainly stirs the pot. While his radio show listeners may buy into his theories and experiments, experts aren't biting. What's your take on Mike Marcum's time machine? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you crave more intriguing content like this, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay in the loop. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.